Hey, it's Spoonie, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is now nearing its fall release window, a timeframe that Take-Two just reconfirmed as recently as February 6th during their earnings call. And that's got me thinking, will Grand Theft Auto 6 be the last Grand Theft Auto game? I think it might be. At the very least, I think it's going to be the last full-scale Grand Theft Auto game we get for at least the next 2 decades. Minimum. Rockstar and their parent company Take-Two are going all in on this one, and seem to be planning for it to last a lot longer than Grand Theft Auto 5 did. And Grand Theft Auto 5 released 12 years ago. That means that there are some adults that have played Grand Theft Auto 5 for their entire lives. That is, of course, unless you were playing this game before kindergarten, but I kind of doubt that. It's a bit too complicated for a 5-year-old, or at least it would have been for me when I was 5 years old. Also, my parents would have never allowed me to play this title at that age. They took Turok Dinosaur Hunter away from me because they thought it was too violent, and I still haven't forgiven them. That's why apparently now I have a dinosaur complex. Whatever that means. Right, anyway, but what makes me think that Grand Theft Auto 6 will reign supreme for longer than GTA 5? Well, that's a complicated answer that I have thought way too much about. So, here we go. First, there's the ever-increasing length of time it takes to develop games of this magnitude. For instance, GTA 5 took only 3 years of full-time development before it was released. There was certainly some preliminary work going on, some patches after release, and maybe some part-time work before they launched into full-time development. So let's round that number up to 4 years to develop. Then we have the title that is as similar to Grand Theft Auto as you can get without just straight up copying the game, and that is Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, the same developer, Rockstar Games, and the same parent company, Take-Two. This one took an impressive 8 years of full-time development with hundreds of voice actors, hundreds of thousands of animations, and over 1,500 total people working on the game. And it shows. Red Dead Redemption is an excellent game. But now we get to Grand Theft Auto 6, and from what we know, the game has been in development since at least 2014 until now. So 11 years. Keep in mind, the time between GTA San Andreas and GTA 5 is now shorter than the time between GTA 5 and GTA 6. That means that if we follow the same pattern of development, where each game takes 3 to 4 years longer than the title before it, Rockstar would have to start on GTA 7 on the release day of Grand Theft Auto 6, and we still wouldn't see that game come out for nearly 15 years, so not until 2040 at the earliest. Yeah, you're gonna be really freaking old. Not me, though. I'm immortal. And again, that's assuming that they start on development the day Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Which, of course they won't. Why would they? Grand Theft Auto 5 definitely outlasted their expectations, otherwise they probably wouldn't have started on development on GTA 6 within just a few months of release of GTA 5. The gaming world has changed so much since 5 released, and so have the expectations for a game's performance. Sadly, it is no longer enough for a game from a massive developer like Take-Two to just sell millions of copies. They want to milk the product as long as they can, and that means building GTA 6 to be able to evolve and be more than just the story and campaign that it's released with. And no one knows more about milking a game for all that it's worth than Take-Two. After all, they do own Borderlands as well as Zynga, the creator of several mobile games like Candy Crush. Just go and ask your auntie how much she has spent on boosts to crush candies after 10 years and 3,000 levels. Whatever number she tells you, she's lying. It's more. We got a small taste of this with modded servers in GTA 5, but that game wasn't specifically designed to include user-created content. That was something that was kind of shoehorned in over time as the gaming landscape changed. But GTA 6 is purportedly being designed with user-created content baked right in. So imagine Roblox, but it's Grand Theft Auto instead. For those that don't know, Roblox, among others, have made it exceptionally easy for users to generate their own content and alter the game by adding their own stories, minigames, or completely changing the game altogether. Sort of like Gary's Mod. This allows people to create custom games and scenarios that I have no doubt will be exceedingly popular if brought to GTA 6. This also helps keep the interest in the game high, as experiences can be so different week to week or even hour to hour. You can tailor the game to your playstyle in that moment, and rather than changing games when you're ready for something different, you just hop in a different server. Anything that keeps you in their garden is good for Rockstar and Take-Two. Now, whether or not creators will get to share in a portion of their profits for these creations is still unknown, but what we have seen from other games like Roblox and now Metaverse is you might be able to actually make money off of your creations. And this is a big might, because again, Rockstar has not officially said anything about this yet, although they have apparently begun courting several creators of user-generated content from a variety of other games to begin developing experiences for GTA 6 Online. So I think it is probably safe to assume that this is going to exist, at least in some form. Those other platforms that they are recruiting from also already have some form of profit sharing for creators. So there's a lot of signs pointing to this being the direction that Rockstar and Take-Two plan to take for GTA 6, ensuring that there will be a constant flow of new content. So if they did decide to profit share, what would that look like? To clarify how money might be made off of these, we can again look to Roblox and how they handle it. For them, content creators are able to sell skins and other in-game accessories or abilities within the games that they create for Roblox. Players can then purchase those skins, accessories, and abilities using the in-game currency called Robux. Creators get a cut of those sales and are able to convert the Robux back into real currency through their developer exchange program. Considering Grand Theft Auto already has a lively in-game economy and already sells their own version of currency through what they call Shark Cash Cards, it's not too much of a stretch to see how they will simply mimic this method, which has been wildly popular in other games. So how does this affect whether or not, or even when they will start work on GTA 7? Well, if they are able to bake in tools for altering almost any aspect of the game for its content creators, it's reasonable to assume that they have done the same for themselves, and to a much greater degree. This would allow them to update maps, stories, missions, graphics, physics, or completely revamp almost any aspect of the game without going through the decade-long development process. This also allows them to continue to sell new additions to the campaign, alternate story modes, missions, new characters with their own entirely new campaigns within the same world, alternate realities and crossovers, new landmasses, or even another entire planet. I don't know, the doors are open to really anything, and all without having to go through the process of developing an entirely new game. All of the predecessors to these things have been extremely successful for Rockstar and Take-Two in GTA 5. As of last year, Rockstar has made almost $9 billion off GTA 5. That's $9 billion with a B. They made $1 billion off shark cards and other microtransactions in 2021 alone. So obviously, this is an avenue that they intend to expand on, and any avenue that will get players spending more, they are going to take. Especially when you know that the CEO and president, along with several other top executives at Take-Two, renewed their contracts to include increased bonuses for a percentage of royalties paid out to them from microtransactions. So yeah, you can bet that GTA 6 is going to dwarf GTA 5 in terms of microtransactions. But that doesn't mean that it's all bad for those who play without ever spending an extra dollar on microtransactions. Aside from cosmetics and some minor quality of life improvements like being able to collect money from your businesses without physically going there, microtransactions in GTA were typically, if not exclusively, limited to things that you could gain through grinding. On the other hand, GTA Plus, which is the monthly subscription service that gives you the perks like being able to collect money from your various businesses without physically going to them, along with a monthly influx of cash and a very large garage with room for 100 vehicles, will also likely see a huge increase in subscribers. Now, some people have criticized these perks as only benefiting new players in GTA 5, but in GTA 6, everyone will be a new player, at least at first. And I imagine 6 will also bring some new bonuses to GTA Plus that will keep people subscribing even after they aren't new any longer. Like the ability to play some older Rockstar titles for free with your subscription, something that was recently added. Although, this time we might see something even more than these standard microtransactions. In an Axios article that goes over the executive pay tied to recurrent consumer spending, otherwise known as RCS, which is basically to say they get royalties from microtransactions, it is also pointed out that definitions shared in an SEC filing included the sale of NFTs. And if you're seeing what I'm seeing, this probably means we are going to see limited edition vehicles, properties, boats, clothing, etc. being sold in limited quantities as NFTs. And I know how everyone feels about NFTs at this point. It has also been discussed that GTA 6 will have a much greater focus on realism for their in-game economy. And now that starts to make a lot more sense. If you're going to sell NFTs, you have to control the player economy a little bit more than it was in GTA 5. And it's probably safe to assume that GTA 6 is going to push a little harder for realism within their in-game economy, especially if there's an in-game marketplace. We will just have to wait and see on that. I don't want this video to become about NFTs, but we can substantiate these rumors a little bit further by pointing out that the creators of some of GTA 5's most popular unofficial servers, the realism-focused role-playing servers 5M and Red M, were purchased by Rockstar in 2023. So overall, for better or for worse, it really seems that a living, breathing global player economy might be a big part of GTA 6. Again, this is not official. Just my own personal speculation based on everything that we have seen so far. But what do you guys think? Am I way off base here? Let me know down in the comments below what you think all of this means and if you agree with me or not. And look, I'm not defending microtransactions. Whether I like it or not, microtransactions are part of the gaming landscape now, and while I personally think that they are a great way to give small developers an incentive to continue to develop and improve their titles by offering cosmetic changes for fans, they are unfortunately often abused and their boundaries often pushed by larger developers like EA and Take-Two. We really haven't found that perfect balance yet. Look no further than Star Wars Battlefront 2 to see a recent example of how giving players an unfair advantage at launch through microtransactions can torpedo your player base such that it never really recovers. At the very least, this means that because they are incentivizing content creators to generate new maps, games, and minigames, etc., players who don't want to spend another dollar after they've purchased the game will still have an almost unlimited amount of free new content. Roblox, for instance, doesn't charge you to play the user-generated content, rather it allows people who want to support those who made the content to do so through their purchases of skins and other cosmetic abilities. You can still just jump in and play without spending any additional money. And they are giving people a lot of space to create. And I mean literally a lot of land. The map in GTA 6 is rumored to be 2.5 times larger than the map in GTA 5. This is, of course, not confirmed yet, but a community called the Mapping Project has fans piecing together what they think the island of Leonida will look like once it's released. The group uses coordinates seen in the trailer along with a healthy dose of imagination to piece together an expected landmass. And this might sound like just some fan art until you find out that the group was able to get the GTA 5 map as close as 90% accurate prior to the game's release using the exact same methods. So I am pretty excited to see how accurate their predictions are here and how those predictions will become even more refined as we finally get a second trailer. This is all the more impressive considering that we have only had the one trailer so far, and that trailer is now 1.5 years old. At this point, we are likely only going to get that second trailer when they can end it with an official release date, but seeing as the fall is only 6 months away, we may not be waiting more than a month or two to finally get that date. Alright, when you consider everything that we know, and what the costs and length of development would be on a new GTA 7 after the release of 6, why would they start development on an entirely new game? So long as the player base remains strong, they will probably just continue to expand on GTA 6 for the next couple decades, or at least as long as they can. Heck, even now GTA 5 has more players today than it did when it launched, again, 12 years ago. Player counts, like with all games, have risen and fallen over time, but the overall trend for GTA 5 has been and remains upward for over 10 years, and GTA 6 will without a doubt surpass GTA 5 almost immediately. Luckily, fans who have spent money on microtransactions or just want to continue playing GTA 5 won't be immediately out of luck as soon as 6 launches. They have said that so long as there is a solid player base in 5, they will continue to support it, which means as long as it remains profitable to keep the servers running, they'll do it. So GTA 5 will probably still be around for the foreseeable future. The real question then becomes, will GTA 5 shark cards be transferable to GTA 6? Considering the kind of insane wealth disparity within the economy of GTA 5, and their need to control a more realistic economy within GTA 6, I really doubt those cards are going to be transferable. But for that, we're just going to have to wait and see. Make sure you subscribe for more gaming updates, news, developments, or just a few more rants from me on what I think new releases might include. I also have weekly updates on the best deals on Steam, game giveaways, and game reviews. I really appreciate you hitting that like button. It really helps my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.